This episode of the Arkham Files is. This episode of the Arkham Files is.
No one talks about them. Not a whisper a word is said. For if you try to cross them, then the talent strikes you dead. The talent strikes you dead. The talent.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Arkham Files. I'm Dr. Henderson.
My name's Dr. Boose.
And today we're going to get into the case file of another weird rogue Batman, Professor Pig. What do you think of Professor Pig?
I like him.
He's
not
now
like,
one of the characters that Matt Reeves is going to be using.
is he really?
We do know that. That was one of the three that he named when he named Clayface, Scarecrow, and Professor Pig.
I don't know. I don't hate Professor Pig in any way. I'm just not real. I don't really know much about him for him to really be like, oh, he's my favorite. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just imagine Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre in Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I like him. I haven't seen him much other than Gotham and Batman Arkham Knight, but I've read books with him in it.
Yeah.
He's a freaky guy. But we'll talk about that later. Let's go ahead and get into the case file.
All right.
Professor Pig is a supervillain who appears in comic books published by DC Comics, commonly as an adversary of the superhero Batman. Pig was created by Grant Morrison and Andy Kubert and debuted as a corpse in the alternate reality story Batman number 666 in July of 2007, before being introduced as a recurring character in the mainstream DC universe 2 years later in Batman and Robin number 1 in June 2009. So it's a really recent character, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought he would be in like the 90s. That's when he was. I thought something like that, but
80s. That's what I thought so as well.
Professor Pig was reintroduced following the DC's The New 52 Comics relaunch in 2011, appearing throughout the continuity and the subsequent DC Rebirth relaunch that began in 2016. The character's in-world real name is Lazlo Valentin, a scientist who suffered a schizophrenic breakdown that led him to become a supervillain who wears a pig mask. Morrison intended Pig to seem disconnected from reality, believing him to be one of the weirdest, most insane characters in Batman comic books. Pig is an obsessive perfectionist who sees human beings as broken individuals. He commonly kidnaps people and uses surgery and chemicals to permanently change them into mind-controlled automatons known as Dolatrons, and sometimes into human-animal hybrids.
Okay. So, yeah, you see this a lot in the, the mainstream media I know him from is from Arkham Knight. And you see that a lot in the game, like when you have the side mission of these corpses or like these bodies just being hanged around Gotham City with like the faces like manipulated, kind of what he's like trying to make like the perfect human or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Where was I at? Morrison took the name Professor Pig from the song Pygmalism by Momus and Kahimi Carey. The name Pig is also shorthand for Pygmalion, referring to both the mythical sculptor who fell in love with his own creation and the 1913 stage play, both of which serve as parallels for Lazlo Valentin and his love for his Dolatron creations. The character's origin story alludes to real-life animal testing carried out in the mid-20th century. He has a makeshift mother made of nails and boards, from which he associates auditory hallucinations, commanding him to constantly improve his surgical work.
Oh, man, yeah. So, I'd say out of any Batman's villains, it might be a hot take, but I'd argue he's probably, I don't know, man. He might be more insane than the Joker or something, man. I don't know.
Well, I think Joker's crazy, but I don't think he's crazy in the way that most of these other villains are crazy. Joker's just like
pure
I don't know.
evil.
Yeah. He's not like got a mental issue. He's just an evil person.
Yeah, basically. Who would you argue is like the most insane out of any of Batman's rogues gallery?
That's a tough one. They're all crazy. Professor Pig's crazy. Scarecrow's pretty crazy too.
Yeah.
Riddler's not crazy. He's just It's too
Say-
smart.
He's too smart for mankind, and he won't allow it.
Basically. Yeah, I don't know. That made Professor Pig.
Yeah.
Pig began making substantial appearances in other media in 2013 with the animated series Beware the Batman. And has since appeared in video games, television, and film. The character has been positively received by entertainment journalists as a strange and disturbing addition to Batman's rogues gallery.
Yeah. I mean, I like him, but he ain't like, I just don't know much about him, and I'm hopefully with Matt Reeves using him, we'll see him in more stuff.
I'm being irked. Spillman is hating the boys.
I was waiting for you to say something about that.
You heard me stop reading for a moment there, because I was looking at that and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to respond. Anyway, yeah. I don't like Beware the Batman.
Yeah, Beware the Batman. That's the that CGI animated show.
Think so.
Beware the Bat. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah. All right, but we'll go and get into publication history, starting with creation and debut. With writer Grant Morrison stated, a new Batman villain must have a gimmick, creepiness, a distinctive look. You kind of evolve those themes into new forms. Professor Pig and his mind-controlled Dolatrons first appeared as crucified corpses in the 2007 story Batman in Bethlehem by Morrison and artist Andy Kubert, published in Batman number 666 by DC Comics. The story is set in a future in which Bruce Wayne's son Damian helms the Batman vigilante persona. Although Morrison had developed a detailed backstory for Pig, they were unsure the character would be used again. The name Professor Pig originates from the song Pygmalism, written by Momus for Kahimi Carey, Pig being shorthand for Pygmalion. The first story of the Batman and Robin series that ran from June to August 2009 saw the character's debut in the main DC universe. The storyline, titled Batman Reborn, focuses on Dick Grayson, who takes over the Batman mantle after Bruce Wayne is pronounced dead, and partners with a younger Damian Wayne, who is now Robin. In the story, Lazlo Valentin was an extreme circus mob boss until something turned him into Professor Pig, leading him to begin funding his scientific experiments by selling narcotics to the criminal underworld. Batman and Robin learn from interrogating his underlings, members of a gang called the Circus of Strange, that Pig is planning to spread a mind control virus across Gotham City to hold the population for ransom. This occurred after a group broke into Gotham City Police Department precinct that teammate Mr. Toad was held in, only to find him dead. Pig is stopped and placed in Blackgate Penitentiary, but medics cannot save his infected minions known as Dolatrons.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, that was his first appearance.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay.
We want to read the next section?
Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I was on the wrong part. It's my bad. Looked at the wrong file here. In Batman and Robin, issue number 13, published in July of 2010, from Professor Pig's return as part of the Batman and Robin Must Die storyline. Pig had been working for the supervillain Dr. Simon Hurt during the events of Batman Reborn, and a virus has contaminated the population without Batman. I'm guessing Dick Grayson was Batman, has Dick Grayson in quotes, or the public realizing it. Grayson discovers this is a virus. This as the virus becomes active. He is swarmed by a mob of infected people in the city streets. Pig uses the virus as a diversion to escape Blackgate Penitentiary. Following issue focuses on Professor Pig's business relationship with Dr. Hurt, who says he has challenged Pig to outline his personal vision for Gotham. As the virus spreads across the city, riots occur under Hurt's command. The story concludes with Bruce Wayne returning to stop Dr. Hurt after being trapped in the time stream. The infected civilians are quarantined and Professor Pig is captured and transferred to Arkham Asylum.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. The character's backstory includes his origin and significantly expanded upon in Batman Incorporated, Leviathan Strikes, December of 2011. Lazlo Valentin?
Yeah.
Valentin was a scientist working for a corrupt United Nations agency known as Spiral, and was driven insane by a product that he was developing, which mimics some effects of Alzheimer's disease, Lazlo develops paranoid sense of
Think about this word.
Think about this. I ain't gonna think about nothing. Let's see. I'm
It's a
just
disease that people have that causes them to see or hear things. Schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia? Oh. Okay. Wait, schizophrenia allows you to hear and see?
No, hear and see things, like as in like hallucinations.
Oh, okay. Schizophrenia leading drug abuse and self-inflicted surgeons that turned him into Professor Pig. Lazlo fathered a son named John's Valentin, who served the criminal organization Leviathan and claimed his father taught him to be immune to pain.
Yep. Professor Pig was immune to pain in Arkham Knight. I think.
What?
Right. So were his little robots too. All right, New 52. In September 2011, DC Comics rebooted their line of comic books under the New 52 banner, establishing a new continuity while keeping landmark stories intact. This iteration of Professor Pig, still Lazlo Valentin, was introduced in Batman #1, among other established Batman villains, during an escape riot at Arkham Asylum, which was thwarted by Batman and Nightwing. He continued to make cameo appearances as an Arkham Asylum inmate in later comics. In the storyline Forever Evil, the inmates of Arkham Asylum and Blackgate Penitentiary battle for control of Gotham. Pig and his Dolatrons briefly gain control over a district of the city, but are usurped by Bane. He's later forced by Scarecrow to ingest the steroid venom to combat the usurper. In October 2013, a prequel to Batman in Bethlehem titled Damian, Son of Batman, in which an older Damian Wayne succeeds his father as Batman, was written by Andy Kubert under the New 52 imprint. Having plotted the miniseries in 2008, Kubert wanted to return to that timeline, saying, "I'd always wanted to write. And talking with editor Mike Martz, he suggested I come up with a miniseries I would like to write and draw. I really love that Batman in the whole world that Grant Morrison dreamed up, so I thought it would be fun to do a story how Damian actually becomes that 666 Batman." An aging Pig appears in the second issue and his henchman in the third. Batman, Damian Wayne, attempts to stop him from experimenting on kidnapped children, but Pig's Dolatrons expel Batman from the area. Pig is never caught.
Okay. Excuse me. The character plays a larger role in the first volume of the weekly series Batman Eternal, which ran from April to August of 2014, beginning with a brief confrontation with Batman in the first issue. Carmine Falcone attempts to take over Gotham City's criminal underworld, initiating a gang war with Penguin to provide a distraction. Falcone frames Batman for the destruction of Professor Pig's laboratory. Angry his work has been destroyed, Pig sends his remaining Dolatrons to assault Batman, who persuades Pig that Falcone was responsible. Pig retaliates by destroying the laboratory of one of Falcone's paid scientists. He later turns several people into human-animal hybrids, whom he labeled his farm hands. Huh. Okay. I never knew he did that with turning people into like animal hybrids. I just knew about the Dolatrons. And finds Falcone after the farmhands kills Falcone's guards. Pig straps Falcone to a table with the intention of operating on him, but Batman intervenes. He is arrested and sent to Arkham Asylum under supervision of Dr.
Dr. Achilles Milo.
Achilles Milo. Okay. Okay, interesting. I'm pretty interested in that human-animal hybrids thing. I didn't know he did that at all.
I just think that like reading all this makes me really understand why Matt Reeves wants to use them.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. Oh yeah, I mean, having just the thought of someone like, just like, I mean, at least I don't know if he's going to take the Arkham Knight route or whatever, but just having someone just kidnap people and just mutilating their bodies just to make like the perfect person is like insane and very scary.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's been done before in real life, hasn't it?
Yep, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So, oh yeah, see, exactly. I mean, like Leatherface. So, I mean, I can totally see them going for that. So it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
In Convergence, the New 52 crosses over with the previous iteration of the DC universe, during which Pig's New 52 counterpart is killed. Pig is also featured in a chapter of the anthology digital comic series, Sensation Comics featuring Wonder Woman. During Robin War, a crossover between several Robin-related publications published from December 2015 to January of 2016, Pig uses an abandoned theater for his criminal activities while working for the supervillain Brother Blood. Pig escapes a confrontation with the Teen Titans.
Interesting. Now we're getting to the fun part here. Professor Pig, voiced by Brian George, this is now in other media, became a recurring villain in the 2013 animated series Beware the Batman, which was intended to focus on lesser-known members of Batman's rogues gallery to set it apart from previous Batman television shows. He appears alongside Mr. Toad, Udo Kier, and a humanoid Toad as eco-terrorists who hunt people for what they deem to be crimes against the animal kingdom. Pig is still portrayed as a surgeon, transforming his victims into human-animal hybrids. The character later appeared in a side quest of the 2015 video game Batman Arkham Knight, voiced by Dwight Schultz. Pig is described as a, quote, gifted scientist who suffered a schizophrenic break that caused him to develop his persona. In the game, Pig uses his Circus of Strange business as a front for abducting people to turn into Dolatrons. After leaving behind a trail of corpses of failed experiments, Pig is investigated and apprehended in a confrontation with Batman. Pig also made minor appearances in the animated series Batman the Brave and the Bold and the video game Injustice 2. In the Harley Quinn episode, There's Nowhere to Go But Down, Pig makes a brief, silent cameo among the prisoners in Bane's pit.
He was in Injustice 2?
Yeah, in one of those, like, when you do, like, beat a character's, like, story or whatever. I don't know what it's called. And it shows, like, the little images and, like, the character voicing over, like, something.
Oh, he's in one
like,
of the
he's in the Red Hood. He's in Red Hoods.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Lazlo Valentin, played by Michael Cerveris, makes his live-action debut in the 4th season of the television series Gotham. The character is introduced under his Professor Pig alias as a vigilante who slaughters corrupt policemen and dresses their corpses with pigs' heads. Executive producer Brian Winbrandt described him as the big villain of the first half of the season, which he was. The character's modus operandi later expands. He targets the wealthy, who he claims fed on the poor of Gotham. Police Captain James Gordon learns that Professor Pig is a persona used by Valentin, a contract murderer who impersonates serial killers. He's hired by crime figure Sophia Falcone in a conspiracy to turn the corrupt police against Kingpin Oswald Cobblepot and usurp his criminal empire. Falcone kills Valentin to keep the conspiracy quiet. He has seen. I remember this. He sneaks into this wealthy party. Penguin's there, and he makes got his famous Gotham meat pies, and he asserts that everybody. But the meat that was inside of the pies were purple, and he forced everyone to eat it, and if they didn't, he was like cutting off people's fingers and stuff.
Oh god!
And like he was forcing them to eat the pies. It was crazy.
Huh.
I think he killed a bunch of poor people and put them in the pies, and fed them to the wealthy to really make them eat the poor or whatever they were. Like that whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty twisted. But it's really good. You know what his very first line in the show was?
What?
Oink oink.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Lord.
He pops up. He opens this door. It's the first time you see him. He's got the pig mask on and everything. There's a cop in front of him, and then he goes up behind the cop's ear and he goes oink oink, and then the cop turns around and he just like slashes him with his butcher knife.
Lord, really makes me really want to watch Gotham. That's for sure.
Oh, Professor Pig literally in Batman Arkham Knight was squealing like a pig.
Yeah, but it was much more cool there. But if it's Gotham, I hate it.
You need to watch Gotham. It's a good show.
I will never watch Gotham. The same way
I will never watch the Ninja Turtles movie. So that's how that goes.
Well, difference is Ninja Turtles is going to be good.
No difference is that Gotham's good.
Is it really though?
Yeah, is the Ninja Turtles movie really going to be good though?
I mean, I think it will be.
Yeah, I think Gotham's good.
Well,
right.
It's not. No, that's gonna be an extra beef one of these days. Is Gotham really good?
That means you have to watch Gotham.
No, it's like it's a one season thing. I watch everything.
Okay.
Yeah. DC Rebirth and Introduction in Film. In May of 2016, DC Comics again relaunched their entire line of comic books under the DC Rebirth brand, restoring elements of the DC universe that were erased under the New 52, while maintaining the continuity. Pig reappears in 2017's Nightwing number 8, operating in Paris and
Number
creating...
18, that is.
Oh, no, what did I say?
You said 8.
Oh, that's 8. Sorry, number 18. Operating in Paris and creating Galvatron versions of Grayson and Damian Wayne, known as Deathwing and Robotron. Huh. Okay. Grayson and Wayne overcome Pig, who tells them he created Deathwing and Robotron for Simon Hurt. He later appears in Harley Quinn, issues number 43 and 44, and Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. He appears again in Batwoman issue number 11, in which Batwoman saves her ally, Julia Pennyworth, from Pig after Alice leaks her secret identity to him. So, why did he call the Dick Grayson Galvatron Deathwing? Oh, Nightwing. Oh, never mind. I was like, I was only focusing on the first part. I was like, Death ain't in Nightwing's name. So I figured it out. Okay. Professor Pig is among the villains who feature in the intercompany crossover, the Shadow/Batman, in which Batman and the Shadow team up to combat a conspiracy. Pig makes his film debut voiced by James Urbanek in the 2018 animated film Suicide Squad: How to Pay, in which he is depicted as an underground surgeon for hire for supervillains. Prior to this, his likeness was depicted in the background advertisement in the Lego Batman movie.
Interesting. In the limited series Doomsday Clock, a sequel to the seminal 1986 Watchmen, Pig is among the supervillains who attend an underground meeting held by Riddler. In a story in DC's 2018 Halloween anthology Cursed Comics Cavalcade, Damian Wayne teams up with the zombie Solomon Grundy against Professor Pig after he kidnaps a group of children. In January 2019, the Mr. Miracle creative team, Tom King and Mitch Geralds, reunited for Batman number 62, which was promoted as a special issue. Pig holds Batman captive as he recalls the mythical Pygmalion and discovers how he psychologically mirrors Pig. And that is the case file.
Okay. I still feel the same with how I did from starting this whole conversation about Professor Pig. Where I don't hate him one bit. In fact, I really like him. I like to see more of him on media, just so I can get more of a feel for him. For me to be convinced, like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah,
I think the idea is cool. I like the idea of what he is, but I just want to see more of him.
I'll just send you a clip from Gotham of him torturing Harvey Bullock.
Oink oink.
That's not how he said that. He said it like he sounds just like he does in Arkham Knight.
Okay.
He just went oink, like that, and then
first line of the show is oink oink. That's how I pictured in my head of him like oink oink. I was like, oh,
no.
Okay. I'm like, yeah, I really want to watch Gotham now.
That's not what he sounded like. He was more like oink, like that, and then he kind of like did his murder thing, you know.
He did his murder thing.
All right. Yeah, this is the case file though. This was the final episode before the finale. I've made the decision of what we're doing for the finale, and I will tell you that in a minute. First, thank you all so much for joining us. I kind of agree with Lance. I didn't really change my opinion on the character.
Mm-hmm.
Very unlike what the ventriloquist episode did change my opinion on that character.
Yeah.
But yeah. That being said, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, and we're gonna see you next week when we talk about Court of Owls. See you then. Bye, guys.
See ya.